But they say I'm too much. Woo. And my mama said I'm special. If I don't trust you, shoot your metro. Future looking bright, nigga, got that glow. Professor X, nigga, all the gifts I show. My life like a movie shot off the hit show. Me and blessed hands make a bitch get low. James Willis, DJ CEO. Dave hit record, now we on beast mode. Let's go.
Welcome back to the Hit Show podcast. We live. We're going to talk about Kanye West, drinkchamps, interview the Jewish community. All right, we got Antoinette up there.
Hey, y'all.
We got Chef Darius at the bottom. Look like Chef Darius is cooking cooking and podcasting. And then below me, we got Breezy coming on. But I want everybody that's watching tonight to please comment. And I also dropped some extra links because I'll be out here in 30 minutes if somebody wants to come on. But we got to talk about this Kanye West drinkchamps interview. And I'm just going to say my piece at first. I watched about half of the interview and the rest of the clips I seen online. And for me, some of the stuff I agree with. The one that I didn't agree with the most, to be honest with y'all, was the George Floyd comment. Now, I did not agree with that. Now, all the other stuff, he's talking about who runs the music industry, you know, the Jewish community runs social media. And all. We've been on that. He's not the first person to say that, right? Mm-hmm. But what stuck with me the most was the George Floyd comment saying that the policeman didn't kill him, which is crazy because he was found guilty of it. So, you know what I'm saying? The man was, but that's his opinion. Now, I don't hate him for it. That's his opinion. But a lot of people are upset about that comment, and George's family is trying to sue him. George Floyd's family trying to sue Kanye for $250 million. Thank you, Greg Garbeloff, the number one fan. You ain't making some sense. Yes, he would. And I think that's the reason why they're trying to cancel him, because he makes so much sense. And he didn't expose anything. He just brought some things to light that we already know. But since it's Kanye, you know, they're going to make a big deal about it. He's not the only rapper that said the Jewish community runs the music industry, social media. Scarface, the rapper, said it before. Nobody gave a shit when he said it. But when Kanye said it now, all of a sudden, Nori on here apologizing and all that corny shit, and Nori should be ashamed of himself trying to even apologize. So, yeah, that's some cool shit. What you apologizing for here?
You're supposed to be super thug.
He ain't, because he on drinkchamps, so they made him apologize. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see the disclaimer? Because they just dropped a new video today. Amigos, I think it was the Migos was on there. They had a whole disclaimer put up. They was like, Diddy, do not fuck with these entertainers is coming on here and saying. Basically, that's what it said. It was like Puff Daddy and his affiliates and these other parent companies we don't condone what these artists are saying. We believe in freedom of speech. So whatever they saying is on them. That is not our belief. So they covering their tracks now.
Oh, yeah, and then not too long ago, P. Diddy was talking about all this Black Lives shit, and now when the artists speak up, we ain't got nothing to do with it. Man, get out of here with that shit. Get out of here. But, Kanye on the last one, if you watch the last one, he was talking about a lot of stuff. He just didn't go in that deep. If you watch the first one interview, he was going in on that one, too. If you listen to him, he was going in on that one. Kanye go into all his interviews and they always try to say he's crazy. How is he crazy?
Because Kanye's approach is crazy because he has like ADHD. So he'll be making a point, a big grandiose point, but in between making that point, he'll be trying to make many macro and micro points within the big point. But he does kind of tie it around sometimes. So it's just, you got to get through the bullshit. Like the whole community that's controlling the contracts and the business things, that was his main point. But in doing that, he threw the George Floyd stuff in there and then the Candace Owens videos and then Trump stuff and Gap deals. He got to tie it all in with all the little stuff, and it just makes it seem like he's crazy. But he's got ADHD, I think.
Yeah, shit, I got ADHD. Don't mean he's crazy. I'm crazy. Just because somebody got ADHD and they go on and they start exposing how they mistreat black people being musicians and actors doesn't mean he's crazy. That don't mean he's crazy. We thought he was crazy when he was kicking around Pete Davidson's head, but when the man came out and said my wife had a heroin addict in her house and this dude tattooed my kid's name on him. I don't think he's crazy for what he did by kicking his head around. I don't think he's crazy for that.
I think how he reacted was obviously not rational behavior. So at that point, there is a little bit of mental trauma, but I don't think he may be mentally ill. But I think in that moment, like anybody is reactive and we have our own things that we don't understand how to process. Like he might not have had the tools to process that. But when I've heard him say masculine things, he's like, no, that was all strategic. Everything Pete did, everything that Kanye did, and response was strategic. So maybe it wasn't mental illness. But I think all the things that he says now, like I don't agree with his statement about George Floyd, but I think that he's like a genius. He's a very high intellect being. So when he has all this stuff that he's understanding, he really is trying to get people to understand what he sees, but it doesn't mean he's always right. Like we don't have to follow every single thing that he says is actual accuracy just because he is a high intellect being.
No, but see, this is the thing with him. Everything he said, we already knew. But just Kanye said. Everything he said, we already knew, especially dealing with the music, the media. That's all run by Jewish people. Black people don't run that. They're just controlled and puppets. Why do you think Nori apologized? He didn't apologize because he wanted to. Drinkchamps made him apologize.
So this is it, James. You said it right, Drinkchamps. But it's like the people, yes, the shock value was there with the George Floyd thing, and I think in the White Lives Matter. Those are the two trigger points for the people in general. As far as him, like Nori having to apologize and Kanye having to look like he's crazy or whatever because he's exposing some things, that's all business related. Because like you said, they all have business relations and dealings with these people that are controlling the contract and whatnot. So when they tell you like, we want you to censor that or remove that or don't allow that person to come on this network that we own, the handlers, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
But Kanye defended Nori. He was like, don't be mad at him. Like, honestly, you don't understand the amount of pressure that you get from this. I mean, this is basically, I'm paraphrasing, but like that he's going to get from me coming on here and saying these things. Like, Kanye was like, I'm risking my money, my life, my everything to tell you guys these truths, but not everybody else has to, like, just because I want some people to know doesn't mean I'm willing to risk my life and my riches and everything. You know what I'm saying? But then, like you said, he's supposed to be super thug, so you're supposed to be able to handle all this. So I don't know, but not everybody's built like a Kanye.
But it's a trickle down effect because Nori don't run that. That's Diddy's network.
But that's the problem.
And that's the problem because Diddy is like that with them. You know what I'm saying? He ain't messing his money up. And at the end of the day, it's about his money. Diddy will let you come on there and speak your freedom of speech, blah, 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 until it mess up his money. So I don't think Diddy care about the business or anything. I think it's all business related as far as why nobody is going backtracking, if you will.
That's why you have to own all your own stuff. Because then nobody has control of your mouth. But then you're still, even solo like Kanye, like you're still at risk for being killed about the conversation or whatever. So.
Well, see, this is the thing with that. When you go on somebody else's podcast, plus they know how Kanye is. If you've seen any of his interviews, you don't know what he's like a ticking time bomb. You don't know, he's just waiting to explode. So you got to expect something crazy coming out of his mouth. Well, not crazy. I don't think it's crazy. But to everybody else, it's crazy. Because it's not normal for a black man to speak like that. But I understood what he meant. Just like the last time he was on. But what Kanye gonna have to do when he want to speak like that, he's gonna have to start his own network or whatever. Because now he's gonna be banned from
Well,
Sway.
Kanye already ahead of the curve. You got to think about how he just released his latest music. He had a whole fucking stem plate. Like, he didn't just come up with a deal with an exclusive company or anything like that, like Spotify or Apple or whatever. He came out with his own system of delivering the music to the people, straight direct source, and they can kind of interact with him and get it directly from him. So he's ahead of the curve as far as doing that type of thing. So I feel like the censorship stuff ain't bothering him. And these media companies and all these entities know the kind of attention he's going to bring and the publicity, because all publicity is good publicity, especially on their end, because they're not the ones really saying the controversial stuff. So they're going to welcome him and let him speak his mind and try to keep on vilifying and demonizing him. So it's going to be up to Kanye to kind of watch his words, but he ain't going to. So it's just sit back and enjoy the show. He got enough money where he could talk his shit for real, for real.
He just needs to be protected. He
Yeah.
better be protecting himself with all that money.
I'm
Like,
sure with all that money, I'm sure he got plenty of protection. Let me get Antoinette's thoughts on this, and then I'm gonna get Dizzy down there. Let me get Antoinette's thoughts.
I'm gonna be all the way honest. I don't even follow up with Kanye West. I'm not a fan. I'm not. I can't say I'm not a fan. I like his music, but that's about it. Like I didn't even check out the interview. I've heard about it through social media. I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't pay him no attention. I just think he crazy. Like I think he's a bully. I mean, I think, he's disrespectful at times. I mean, hey, he put himself in these situations, but sometimes karma comes back. I mean, he losing deals and all type of stuff. I mean, but look what he has done to people, women. I mean, he just sometimes can be so disrespectful. But I mean, to me, he's just a big bully. I really don't even keep up with him.
James, do you
I mean,
agree
that's
with
my
that?
honest opinion. I mean, I don't.
He ain't crazy to me. He just
Kim?
to me, he's not crazy. I don't think he's crazy at all. And the thing
Why
is, he's smart.
why Pete Davidson, the person that's tattooing kids on his face that ain't even his kids, not crazy. Know what I'm saying? Like,
No, something like that is not crazy. No, you're right.
that's
Somebody
crazy.
tattooing the kids on him, that's something that's crazy.
Mm.
Now I agree with Kanye West on that. But some of the things that he does, I don't agree. Like to me, he just like when he's done with you, he wants to destroy you mentally. Like I don't like those type of people.
Is he a
When he's
Gemini?
done with you, he just basically he's destroying. He don't give a fuck about how long he been with somebody. Nothing. He's destroying you.
Mm.
Period. If he don't have his way with you, and you piss him off, he's fucked up.
Let me play devil's advocate. So he does these deals with Gap and Adidas and Nike, right? And
Okay.
they cut him out, and then they continue to use his designs, but like slightly alter them. They really don't even slightly alter them. They just cut him out, because when it's time to renew a contract, after you're going to be able to prove that your design that you brought to the table is worth more than what you already had initially for the first contract. That's like kind of foul. That's moving foul. So I feel like if somebody does that to him, he's entitled to speak his piece towards them. So as far as bullying them companies and the organizations that are moving like snakes towards him, I'm with that. As far as the Kim situation, like I feel like he was just reacting because things were really happening to him that made him feel like he had to react that way. It wasn't like it was a clean breakup or anything. Kim was moving weird too.
It's still not okay for you to like. That's like mental abuse, and I feel like that's like what Antoinette's talking about. Like
Yeah.
the I'm gonna like mentally just destroy you, like because that mental abuse can, and like I don't care how much space you need, I'm gonna be right here, and my money can make me be here, and who gonna stop me? Like that's abuse.
It is.
So like it's great
Yeah.
when you're like men to men or you're this alpha thing, but it's not when you're putting a woman into a place of mental manipulation and fear. That's some weak shit. And you never have to react like that. So then I don't think he's mentally ill, but I think in that moment he was triggered and was reacting in a mentally ill way because a level-headed man wouldn't be putting a woman or the mother of his children or his children in a place of fear.
But my whole point is we ain't giving Kim no credit. Like we acting like she
We
was
have no
moving.
idea what she did.
We do. We know what she did. We saw how
What did she do?
She was moving with a new man in the house, right? And
Kanye had women
in public, yeah, but Kanye didn't have control of the kids like that. So
how do you know?
That's why he was ranting and coming out and like losing his character. Like,
but honestly, he bullied Kim. I mean, I'm not a Kardashian fan either. I mean, but from what I was hearing and from what I was seeing is like, would you want somebody like if you're going through that with an ex? Would you want them really around your kids? I mean, I know she was scared. I mean, he was doing all type of stuff.
Yeah.
Popping up, moved across the street. It's just like he is such a bully. Like
that was crazy.
And he can only do that to certain women. Because he wouldn't have been able to do that to me. Then you moving across the street, okay, I'm gonna give you what you want. Like, no, he picks people, like he just destroys certain people. He knows who to pick with and who not to pick with. Like the mother of your child, you should never have to put her in a situation like that. I mean, move on. I know breakups are bad, but you're supposed to be the bigger person here. You're the man. You know what I'm saying?
It was deeper than Kim in the breakup, though. It was about them kids with Kanye.
You think?
Like, I wouldn't want my kids around you either. I wouldn't want you at my daughter's birthday after you and threaten me on social media and all this other stuff. I wouldn't want you around either. Sometimes people have to understand some people just need that break. Not saying it's a forever thing, but he could have threw his own party. Like, why you want to come over here with us? You know what I'm saying? Like, throw your own stuff. Why you over here with me and my family? It's not rocking like that. Like, you over here with me and my sisters, you better hope you survive and coming out the place. Because I'm not gonna play with you. You ain't gonna come to my family's and think my mom ain't gonna say nothing to you, or think that my sisters ain't gonna have a problem with you. Like the things you did, which is out of control. He just takes stuff too far sometimes.
He was too controlling. Okay.
James, what do you think? I want to hear what James.
I don't agree with you because
and with all the dust smoke to settle, I believe he was right to be too controlling.
Anytime.
Him not even with Pete. Pete used her and used them kids, and that's what Kanye's whole gripe was. He was telling Chris to stop putting kids on social media, and Chris kept putting them kids on social media. He told Kim to stop letting Pete be around them kids when they just met each other. They did not know each other for real. Thank you. And this man Pete used her. So that's all I gotta say about that. That just was weird to me. And when people do weird things to your children, it's gonna make you act out. They lucky Kanye ain't get physical with Pete. The most he did was make a video portraying getting physical.
Didn't he try to threaten people to kill him?
He did, but I'm saying he ain't followed through. I know who did worse. You tattooing my kids on your face.
He lucky because I'd have been in jail. You couldn't do shit like that. But let's get dizzy. Let's go ahead.
And y'all got control like that, so I don't know. Maybe it's because y'all would never be able to be in that position to where another man could do something like that with y'all kids. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I just think he don't care what he puts on his body. So
she wants to talk.
Yeah, let her go. Y'all let Dizzy go. She been trying.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Hey.
So, I want to first start off to say, I'm a Kanye West music fan.
Yeah.
I am a fan of his music. Okay. I've pretty much seen every documentary, and I sat down and took the time to listen to the entire 3-hour interview, as well as the other 2.5 hour interview that he was on Drink Champs before. Am I a Kanye connoisseur? No. But I do know enough to be able to tell fake from real. And what's really, I feel like I can say, I feel like I know what is going on. I will say, first off, for anyone not to recognize that Kanye West has had mental issues since his mother died is blind to the facts. His mother was his world. And I don't know if anybody on this panel or anybody listening to this podcast has ever lost their mother. But if you have never lost your mother, your anchor in your life, you cannot speak on his pain, his feelings, his mental capacity, nothing. But if you watch his documentary when he's talking about his mother through the entire piece, and as a Kanye West music fan, seeing the shift, the mental break that occurred once he lost the anchor in his life, you blind if you didn't see that change. You are blind. You can't tell me that you don't have a friend in your life right now that did not lose their mother, father, sister, brother, grandmother, grandfather, whose life shifted after that loss. You can't tell me that. And we can say all day long that we in sound mind and body, but there are certain things that can happen to us that will cause us to break and cause us to move differently. And those of us sitting here right now on this panel who may be operating through sound mind and body will never be able to understand what Kanye is trying to move through right now. He was a kid, young, coming up in this business. And the only person who could tell him anything died not too long after he really started getting success. What happens to all our other Black celebrities when they start making too much money too soon in the media, too soon, not a good PR team, and all this shit has happened to them, and they don't have an anchor? And then when they have problems and issues and mental incapacities, then we all of a sudden is like this. We just as bad as our grandparents, aunt, and uncles who leave that uncle who ain't quite right down in the basement in front of the TV rocking back and forth.
Ooh.
We don't want to see it. And we don't want the society to see it. So we act like it's not happening. So we be like, oh, girl, he crazy. And that's the end of the sentence. But it's not. I can almost guarantee you if any of these things occurred while his mom was still alive, he would probably not be moving back like he's moving now. And it's unfortunate. I see mental illness going on, but we think it's got to be on some old Jeffrey Dahmer shit for it to be real. It's not. We all grieve differently. We go through shit differently. So I was talking to my husband earlier about this last Drink Champs interview. Unfortunately, my husband got through 18 minutes of it. And he was like, once I heard him say George Floyd died of fentanyl, I was done. And I was like, did you listen? Because that sentence did not come out his mouth. What's happening in our community is that we will go to other social media platforms and read a sentence and run with it like it's our own thought. And it's not. Somebody fed that shit to you. Now, I will say, he did say he didn't die because of the dude's knee on his neck. That's some dumb shit, dude. I give him that. But let's not put words into the mouth of somebody who's already mentally ill. At least accuse him for what he did. Not for what the media told you he said. And I feel that Kanye has a lot to contribute. We have to understand that none of us on this panel, and probably 95% of the people that's watching this podcast, are not billionaires, right? Because I sure ain't.
Mm-hmm.
So there's certain rooms that billionaire dollars get you into that we will never see. So there's certain movements and things that Kanye probably has seen and has access to that we will never see. And we probably will never understand because we're not in that room. But if someone spun the narrative of something else happening in a situation that had to do with you, what do we do on social media? We get pissed off when Facebook says, yo, so-and-so, I don't know anybody's name on the thing right now, but if they say, hey, so-and-so said this, that, and the third about her baby daddy, we get on Facebook and wild out if someone says something wrong towards us, if somebody says something wrong towards our kids, if somebody says something wrong towards our family members. So why is it different when Ye does it? Why is it different? It's not different. But I will tell you what the difference is. We ain't under a microscope. We ain't in public eye. We can act a damn fool on social media and millions of people don't see it. But when Kanye does it, it's amplified. How many times y'all seen messy shit go down on Facebook? Raise your hands. Oh, okay.
All the time.
How many times we seen messy shit go on Instagram? Raise your hands. Did it go viral? No, it didn't. Why is it so far-fetched for someone to believe that someone who might be telling 50% truth and the rest of the shit sound crazy? Why would we disregard the 50% truth? Yes, Kanye says some dumb shit. I give it to him. He does. But that does not disregard the fact that 50% could still be right. So one of the main issues that me and my husband talked about was about Kanye and the whole birthday kidnap situation, right? So I went back and I read what happened. And I was like, okay, so you decided, Kardashians, to have a birthday party for a child that is partly yours and not tell the daddy where it was. Your daddy knows everybody. The baby daddy knows everybody at that party, and nobody's responded to his text messages. How fucked up of a baby mama are you to not allow the baby daddy to come to the birthday party? Right? Mean. That's why he said F Meek Mill, F Puff Daddy, F all these folks. Why? Because they was at the party and they were not responding to him. Let's take it out the limelight and bring it down to our level. Baby daddy want to go to the kids' party. Baby mama not responding. All baby daddy, baby mama friends not responding. And one dude says, hey, yo, man, this the address. This is where we at. Of course we gonna be like, fuck everybody else. Mm-hmm. There's nothing else to discuss. It is my child's birthday. Fuck the baby mama, fuck the grandma, fuck everybody else. I want to see my child today. You can have issues with me yesterday. You can have issues with me tomorrow. Let me blow the candles out and eat the cake with my kid and be on my way. Because we not about to sit here and act like the Kardashians ain't manipulated the medias from the jump. Stop it.
Masters at it.
You marrying white boys for 3 days. You got Tristan Thompson's ass on all types of drugs, and you still pumping babies out for him. Oh, we don't see all that because Kanye crazy. Why is it so hard to believe that the Kardashians push you to that level? Because I'm telling you, if Kanye had those kids and he had a party and them Kardashians wasn't allowed to come, oh, all these women on this platform, any woman listening would be wilding the fuck out. Why can't I come to my kid party? I'm the baby mama. I'm not going to trip today. No, we can't play both sides. If you're going to be like that for him, come with the same energy for her.
Yep.
Am I saying he's crazy? I said it from the jump. But I'm not going to discount the things he's saying that is right. I'm not going to discount that. I'm not. Let somebody tell me I'm not coming to my child's birthday. I'm flipping tables. I'm blowing up cars. I'm dressing up like a clown trying to come and be, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do all of that. So why is it so hard to believe that Kanye would want the same thing? You know what I'm saying? You think about it back through history, a lot of geniuses were hella misunderstood. Why? We don't operate on the same level. We don't have the capacity. Who's walking around with billionaire mindset? Not me. I'm about 100,000 that mindset. I can deal with that. I can't even talk on millionaire mindset yet, but I can tell you what, this mindset I'm operating at right now, 20 years ago, when I was making $20,000, $30,000 a year, I would have never been thinking like I am now. And that's why I understand his thought process generally. We can't understand what he's going through. We not in the public eye. We sneeze. Some shit. Oh, it's on Instagram. Kanye sneeze, might have COVID, gonna die tomorrow. we don't deal with shit like that.
Right.
And that alone can drive you crazy. So I looked at the whole, they say Kanye made anti-Semitic statements. I listened to the thing and he was just saying what Jewish people were doing with the media. Who can debunk that?
It's true. I thought too.
Who owns half the shit? So
I actually tried to look it up.
So who are we to say you wrong? What Goldberg do you know? We don't. Y'all already know that the media was skewed for Trump. Fox News got pom-poms for Trump. Y'all know that. Y'all see it. But when Ye say it, it's a problem.
And he said not all Jews. He said the thing is just these are the ones who run the industry. Like really, I posted the interview. Like,
and to be fair, he said he a Hebrew Israelite, he a Jew too. So he said he can't be anti-Semitic.
And that's also what he said in the interview. He said, "Let me tell you some real anti-Semitic statements." And he started saying the quotes that rappers have in their songs, like he said, "I'm gonna fuck your bitch and I'm gonna kill this nigga." And he kept saying, "I'm sorry, not trying to get y'all flagged."
No, you
but he was saying that those are the quotes in all of our songs that these Jewish owners are promoting. A lot of conscious rappers who are talking about peace and unifying community, they don't even get time on the air. They have to go independent because the media companies do not want those types of messages of unifying and, peace in our community there. Why?
Exactly.
You don't hear those lyrics in country. And you don't hear those lyrics in rock and roll, like I'm gonna kill that motherfucker. Like you don't hear that, but ours is just natural.
Because for us, peace doesn't make money. For us,
right? Because we spend money everywhere else.
So what do? And I understood it when he said it. Let me shift this gear and put a Jewish person that everybody can relate to on TV to cry about the anti-Semitic comments. Who was it? Jamie Lee Curtis. The face of the fucking Halloween movie that just came out. The only Jewish person that some of us even know. So when she gets on there and cries, I'm so hurt. Hurt about what? What he said about the media?
Right.
You heard about what he said about the media? You heard about how they pimping out black people to put out this black kill black music? That's what you crying for? Miss me with that. Miss me with that. But again, I'm not condoning everything he says out of his mouth. No. I'm just saying you can't discount A, B, and C because the D phrase was fucked up. You can't. Mm-hmm. You can't.
And that's a good point because that's what our people do. We nitpick the one thing that we could find to trigger us, and we let us get triggered and disregard any factual evidence or truth to any other point he was trying to make, which he did bring a lot of things to the light. And for somebody to be at that level and to be in these rooms, like you said, rubbing these shoulders with these billionaires and these other companies, We need people like you talking about what's going on behind closed doors. Even though we already know, we need somebody who got that experience is really in this room to say it. And we see that it got to be truth to it because they're trying to shut them up.
Exactly.
We know how media work. If it's some truth to whatever you got saying, they try to blackball you, try to make you look bad. They do everything under the sun. The assassination of character is the number one way they can
Correct.
attack this man, and that's what they're gonna do.
They trying to discredit him, and I agree with that. And like I said, I have to repeat, I don't believe everything that come out his mouth.
Yes.
That White Lives Matter shit, that was dumb. Why you do that? You know what I'm saying? That was dumb. I give you that. All the rants on Instagram, why you do that? You know, I feel like, to be perfectly honest, I think that anything and everything that he said to Pete Davidson is anything any baby daddy would be
It
doing.
was fair to me. That was fair game.
Right. You don't tattoo, excuse me, another dude's kids' names on your face.
Asking for you want me to do something to you. Like at that point, like, come on, man. I know words and all that get exchanged, but once you start doing stuff like that and putting them kids' names on your body, like you taking it too far. And that should have been a red flag for Kim. Like, why you condoning that behavior? And we should have been looking at him like, you crazy. Why are you letting this man tattoo your kids on his body? But we excuse the Kardashians, like you said. Like they ain't throwing their rock and hiding their hand. Know what I'm saying? They doing their dirt. They got their little media magic they work, and we just ignore that. But it go both ways. We gotta be fair with the way we scrutinize them the same way we're doing it with Kanye, and I don't think we do. They get a pass.
I agree. I agree.
I don't know why they get a pass because it's blatantly obvious they.
I mean, get a pass. They're scrutinized all day, every day.
I don't
Like
think so.
they really are. Like every piece of their body. Like because it'd be on Snap that they have like these little articles and they highlight like how they're harassed and like I mean it's just what comes with fame. So it is what it is. But they talk about Kim. They're all in their lives. They're always judging all the sisters. I think they do get scrutinized. I mean, Kim forever been the hoe of you ain't got no talent, you the hoe of the world, you got whatever tapes out here. That's the only reason you famous. So people do dog them.
They dog them. I feel like this. They dog them, but they dog them differently.
Yeah, for sure.
They dog them differently.
It's media magic. The way they get dogged is energy for the Kardashians because they spin it and use it in their favor. Like I could go deeper with them women is, but we ain't gonna go that far. You know what I'm saying?
Go put it out there. They mom is the biggest pimp in the industry ever.
Yes.
You better know it.
She's a pimp.
Yes, she is.
I ain't want to say it as a man. Yep.
Yes, she is.
The mother is a pimp.
Why do you say she's a pimp?
So we all right with leaking a sex tape of our daughter so that she can be famous?
Oh, she leaked it? Chris leaked it?
Yes. She do control all their media.
But check it. But right now, everybody's doubting what Ray J is saying. Ray J been telling us this.
He been exposed to me. I forgot about the Ray J stuff.
Nobody, myself included, I don't care for Ray J, period, in the first place. But Ray J been trying to tell people this is what is happening in this house. Every black man what that happens. Think about it. Give me one successful black man that has stuck with and stayed with a Kardashian and stayed successful. She couldn't even marry the white boy for more than 3 months and toss his ass. Give me one successful black man that a Kardashian has touched and stayed with that has not gone crazy. Something. And I rest my case. You can't give me one. But they keep chasing this money, that ass, that fortune. They beautiful. I give it to them. But I mean, if I had billions of dollars too, I would change myself to look a little more like Beyonce too. Chloe. You change yourself to look like our people to catch black men. Are you serious? Don't play with me.
That's what they into. Well, I mean,
And
the
and and,
country
and,
boys
and, who,
and
and
stuff.
who you think taught them that? Who you think taught them that? Who you think they learned it from? The pimpstress. Walk like this, talk like this, dress like this, do like this, and you will get this. And mama gets paid off of all of it.
Chris Math.
Well, I think it's low self-esteem, but
You
I
know
also
the thing about it is, why everybody's mad at the Kardashians. When men get used like that, there's songs out here and chants that glorify using men. There's songs out here that our own women make that glorify using man, get what you want. But then when the Kardashians, they're not fully black, they get talked about like they doing something wrong. Everybody else doing it. So I think people are hypocrites when they mad at them, but when our own women do it, it's not a problem. But when they do it, it's a problem.
I've never said it's not a problem. I don't like nobody using nobody for nothing.
Let's be honest.
I feel you. I feel you. But
I'm not knocking their hustle.
You right.
I'm not knocking them.
You right. We got the Cardis and the Nickys and the Megans about I get this, make them this. Okay, cool. Okay. And so run down. Let's run down who they married to though. Nikki like get this, run this, give me this. She married to a goddamn sex offender. Cardi B, yeah, run this, give me this, do this. Her man is consistently cheating. Megan, we don't know about her yet. We waiting to see what's gonna happen with Megan's dude.
I think he on the down low, but go ahead.
Hey, it is what it is. So when you go out and chant these things, trust and believe there's karma that comes back to you. You know what I'm saying? There's karma that comes back to you. Now, I ain't about now look, I ain't about to tell you that I don't dance to those things. But if I'm like, hey, give me this, give me that, do this, do that, I got a husband who's already doing these things. So if I say run the bag, give me this, give me that, I want this, I want that, my husband's already giving me that. That's a whole different vibe.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's supposed to do. And there's things I'm supposed to do with him for him too, in order to receive these things. It's a give and take.
They giving them the game back.
Right.
But it's designed like that on purpose. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna put the Lauryn Hills and the conscious female rappers to the forefront. They're gonna put the Cardi B's and the Megs and all them.
That's what sells.
To get the game backwards and confuse the younger girls.
Really, it's because of their moral standing. Like Lauryn Hill wasn't going to teach young women that. She just wasn't going to do it. Like they would have picked Lauryn if she would have conformed for it. But she would have been like, I'm not teaching these girls they need to be covered up and they need to alter their bodies. And like that don't make a...
Uh-oh.
Y'all go ahead.
Yeah. My thing is, I mean, I get what she's saying. It's not Lauren's responsibility to teach everybody what they should or should not be doing. Because that doesn't fall into everybody's moral standards either. Right. But what I am saying is the music industry is just that. It is an industry. So if I come to the forefront and I'm singing fight the power, black power, do this, that, and the third, and it's not making me any money, and it's going to make you smart enough to be able to overturn the industry I run, I'm gonna shut it down. And I believe that these industry owners, label owners, music company owners, whatever, they don't want us to get too smart. They don't want it to happen. Just like, and I'm gonna tell you something I thought was dope. During the interview, Kanye said, check this. He said that he wanted to come to a point where all artists came to the table with their contracts to see what was right and wrong with their contracts.
Man, that was a bar when he said that.
Do you understand the level of thinking that Kanye had to be at?
That's the main That should be the main talking point. That should be the main talking point of his whole spiel that he had. Even past the Jewish people, the anti-Semitic things, the George Floyd, that contract point, that was fire because he was laying it all on the line too. He's saying, "I ain't apologizing until we do it."
Right.
Like, so,
And what did Nori say? And what did Nori say in the interview? He was like, you know what? There's too many artists that would probably be ashamed to bring it to the table. So that means you signed this piece of paper knowing it was a bad deal, but you just wanted to be famous. Now let's take it a step further.
Accountability.
I'm gonna say, we need to start protecting Nori, and I'm gonna tell you why. Couple of Drink Champs ago, well, I can't remember which one it was on, but I listened to Drink Champs religiously. He said, why don't rappers have their own life insurance company? Because you do understand that there's life insurance policies on rappers.
Yep.
And so if the rapper dies, the label gets the money. So Nori is in the works right now of establishing a life insurance company specifically for rappers and R&B singers, and he's working with the SAG community to get it done. So that's like the union for actors, the Actors Guild,
the Screen Actors
Guild. He is working with the people who are already doing this to be able to establish this for rappers and R&B singers. So that means instead of the money from, let's just say, Nipsey Hussle, Pop Smoke, going to the record company, it will now go to the families like it does for normal individuals.
Right.
Can we say protect Nori at all costs because he's working on this now? Because he's like Pop Smoke. He listed all of these people.
So that lends me to see why he's backpedaling a little bit more though, because he got some assets to protect and he don't want to get canceled before he can get
exactly.
All right. That makes sense.
If you also notice on the interview, he even said, which I wish Kanye wouldn't have said this out loud on the interview. He said Puffy texted him and was like, yo, man, let's buy a bank. Kanye's response to him was like, I would, but I don't know how. He was like, Mike, who the hell owns Greenwood? Shoot. I want to say he said Mike Jones, but I might have a whole wrong. Big Mike Jones.
I remember he said somebody.
Right. There's already a black-owned bank called Greenwood.
I think it's Big Mike.
Big Mike. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I forgot who I heard somebody a long time ago talk about this bank. Citizens Trust Bank is another one that is a black-owned bank. So I got some little coins in Citizens Trust, and I'm on the waiting list to get an account at Greenwood. So there's already people doing this. And Kanye is like, yo, I want to do that. Because soon he's going to be able to detach himself from, detach himself from the Matrix.
Yeah.
And be self-sufficient. And then they won't be able to tell him shit.
Because he's learning as he's going. Like, he don't got to follow. Ain't no black man ever been in his position to do what he doing. So like you said, I don't take everything as he says as law, and I don't agree with all his actions, but I'm going to eat the meat and spit out the bones and kind of give him support because I see what he's trying to do.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Because, you just think about it, y'all. If y'all was ever in a situation and you had to come somewhere and explain some outlandish shit that was going on, that was actually true, and nobody believed you.
And your life is on the line.
And exactly. What do we say? Believe black people when they say something. Because I'ma tell you, and I'm willing to put like money on this. If Jeff Bezos or anybody white and or Jewish would have came on the same podcast and said some, not all, some of the same stuff, we would not be having this conversation. It's because it's Ye. Because in our mind, bro, you that rapper from Chicago. You don't know shit. But you been in rooms we ain't been in. You sat at tables we ain't sat in. He said on the interview, I appreciate the deals I had with Gap and Adidas, but my line was the way that they could say that they were catering to lower income communities. Have you seen the price of Yeezys? It's not a lower community just because you dealt with a black man. Not when your ugly ass alien slides is like $500. No, it's a facade. Unplug yourself from the matrix, baby. There's more going on than you think.
It's true.
So I just say, I don't believe everything you say. I don't agree with everything, but I will not discount the facts. I will not discount facts that make sense. And I encourage anybody and everybody that is listening on this podcast today, please go online. Please go online and actually listen to the entire interviews on what you're going online and responding to. Because we've seen countless times they will take a clip of what we said, and what we say, it was misconstrued. It was out of context. Because you ain't take the time to listen to the whole 3-hour interview. Or you ain't take the time to read the whole article. But I feel that social media is conditioning us to not have the attention span.
Boom. I was just about to say how entertainment, it started with TNT. And it started with TNT. And who controlled all of that and the media darling TNT? The Kardashians. So taking little sound bites in the clip, a little walking out, a little like that, translated to social media. And now they translate to the rappers and people's interviews. And instead of hearing the whole explanation, they take a sound bite and clip and shit. It's like shit crazy.
And my thing is this: I challenge anybody when you get mad about something you see on the soundbite, I challenge you to actually challenge yourself. What if somebody did that to you? You had a whole passionate discussion about how you felt about something, and all they took was this one piece where you was like, fuck all them. And they said them was the Jewish people. And you like, that is not what I said. Now you got to go through months and months of repairing your life, your career, your reputation, because someone took what you said out of context, and millions of people only want that clip. They don't care what you really said.
Which that happens to her. That happens to us. Like when we take clips from our show and put them on different social medias, people will comment, won't even see the whole podcast, but they'll comment off that small clip. And it's like, how did you get that out of that? Like you didn't see the podcast, you just went off the clip.
But to be fair and have some accountability now, like you said, Kanye be doing goofy shit. So if you're doing stuff like wearing the White Lives Matter shirt and the MAGA hat, and you're giving these motherfuckers reasons to jump all on you and get sound bites and clips, you know what he know what he doing though. He's doing that on purpose because he knows all publicity is good. That's why he's a billionaire.
Correct.
They teach you that when you go through these initiations and you in these business meetings, they will tell you all publicity is good if you got your shit in order and lined up to capitalize and market and monetize it. And that's what Kanye doing. He know what he doing.
He does. Well, I will say this. So after I saw all the backlash go out about Kanye and what the interview that I had not even seen yet, right? I saw a whole bunch of people talking trash about Kanye and a whole bunch of people defending him, right? At the end of the day, so I put this post on my page after that, and I was like, you are entitled to say whatever you want to say and feel however you want to feel. But that does not mean that you do not get to experience whatever backlash comes when you do it. So you can say and do and feel what you like. So I'm not like silence Kanye, don't let him talk, ban his stuff, delete. No, you can say whatever you want, but everything you lose because of it, everything that happens because of it, you have to be ready to receive that too, no matter how negative it is. And then maybe that's the lesson you're supposed to learn, to think before you speak.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things Kanye could have said in a different context.
Yes.
And still been listened to. But like I was saying, my husband, 18 minutes, he was done. You still had another 2 hours and 40 minutes to listen to him speak. Yeah. But you have people who stop at 18 minutes and don't care about the rest. So he didn't hear all of the other positive things that Kanye actually said. So you walk away with a Kanye is an ignorant asshole facade, and that's going to be his thoughts about him for a while.
And people got to start judging the full scope of other people. Like, everybody not you, and everybody not another person that you try to compare them to. So
correct.
For Kanye, for example, he does a lot of other things. He good at music. He good at fashion. He do a lot of things. So for people to expect him to also be articulate and know how to be PR all the time and have good interviews, like people who got trained to do that their whole life, like a politician or somebody, it just don't make sense to me. Like, he a nigga that makes and do clothes. He obviously wild in the senses, we know that. So when he's in doing interviews, he's not gonna always be articulate and say the correct things. Like,
the creative.
He's a
creative, and they don't necessarily think out the entire process.
Yes. They act
and I'm not throwing all creatives into this bucket. I'm just saying, in the moment, this is what I want to say. And he may 100% be behind what he's saying right then. But we also have to remember that we evolve. We're allowed to change. You could pull up a clip from me from 5 years ago, and I can damn near guarantee my 5 years of experiences have probably changed how I felt about a situation.
Yeah.
And people don't believe, because of social media, you don't believe people can change. You put people in this box. Like, you're only allowed to be this. And so when you come out with an idea later of something outside that box, people want to slam you. You fake, you phony, you this. No, I grew. Just like the people on social media, when you're like, oh, when, a bombing or something happens in Paris, and I'll say, pray for Paris. And you got somebody, there's killings every day in Chicago. Well, guess what? I'm praying for Paris today. I'm allowed to be passionate about more than one thing at a time. I'm human. You might not have that capability, but today I'm praying for Paris. Tomorrow I might pray for North Carolina. The next day I might pray for Florida because of the floods. You can't judge me because I changed. It's what's important to me right now. Oh, I'm pro-life. Don't do abortions. All right, bet. You about to adopt somebody? You gonna adopt some children? You not? Shut up.
Right. Or adopt that mama and take care of her and move her into your house while she raises that baby.
Right. So I didn't come on your page. Don't come on mine. But we're in that mentality now that if somebody says something we don't like Kanye, we feel the audacity to go and say something about it. And I think our society also, look, where's our boy at? I'm like, not supposed to be the facilitator.
James dipped out on it.
It's all right.
We holding it out.
mentally is like everyone is allowed to have their own opinion whether you agree or not. And just because I say something you don't like doesn't mean I'm being disrespectful. And a lot of things that Kanye says out his mouth, people take it disrespectfully because they don't like what he said. But he's not like every time he's not disrespectful every time. Sometimes he's just saying some stuff we don't like. And it's okay. We don't have to. And if you don't like something, that don't mean you got to comment on it either. Sometimes it's best to walk away. Like, I'm not even going to entertain that. That's dumb. But that comes with growth.
And that's it. It's like you eat the meat and you spit out the bones. That's it. Like you ain't gotta take everything he says as law. Ain't gotta agree with whatever he doing. Just realize he doing what he doing, and that's not for me. So, but people want to jump in and get triggered and bash him and do things and kind of throw salt on his game. And I'm like, y'all can't do that because there ain't everybody in a position like this that can fight for it at that level that he doing. So everybody's doing it at their own levels and they're being as effective as they can be. Don't get me wrong. I ain't saying nobody fighting, but the way he fighting with them people, the way he need to fight, that we need that too. And a lot of us don't got that voice. And he's saying some things that do need to be exposed and talked about. We may not agree with it, but it do need to be exposed. I believe.
I agree. I like that. I like that piece because I do feel that everybody plays a role and everybody's role is not the same. So like, I had to have some conversations with my peoples when the whole Black Lives Matter thing happened with George Floyd, because, you know, I have a lot of friends that go out and did the protests and you know, got arrested and all of that stuff. And I don't knock that. If that's the way you want to fight for the cause, then do that. I don't knock you. But what I didn't like seeing is that those who were doing that knock anyone else who wasn't. And it's like everybody can't go out and be the martyr. You know why? Because some people gotta be the people that you come home to calm you back down.
Yep.
We can't do that if we out there with you.
Yep.
Some people help in other ways besides being on the front line. It's not always about the front line, but we chastise how other people support the cause. And that's wrong. Embrace everybody for who they are and the role that they play in the mission. Everybody. Yep. Instead of knocking everybody down. But again, that's just my social media deal. That's what's popular now. That's what's popular on social media.
The beauty about it is just like, I mean, Kanye using it to get publicity to say whatever he wants, but like social media, we all have that power in our hands. We could change whatever we want to see on social media. Like, just like the Kardashians reverse the energy, like we can reverse all this energy, especially as a collective. So,
but they don't want to because who's turning away from the train wreck?
Right.
Nobody.
But right now, you're reversing the energy by actually explaining like where this man's coming from. You know what I'm saying? So people can actually see. Like that's why consciousness and actual real talking podcasts or people talking about real stuff actually matters. So we can shift that paradigm on social media.
Agreed. I agree with that. I do.
And definitely, it's funny. Like I had an experience in my personal life where when that stuff was like really hype about Black men and police brutality, like one of my closest friends, like she was like, I'm trying very hard, even just embracing the fact that I'm brown. Like that's a lot for me. And I was like, shut the hell up. Like, are you stupid? Like, there's men out here dying, like people getting killed, women losing their babies, and you want me to be proud of you for just saying you Black? Like, get out of my face. Like, you want to, like, oh my gosh, I have to deal with my family saying racist stuff, and me speaking up and saying I don't believe in that is like hard. I was like, shut up. But that was the best that she could do in that moment. And like you said, everyone can't be that person, and we're all needed for different pieces. But I think that's really hard for people to understand at any phase of their life.
Right. I agree. And I think it's whenever it strikes the movement always strikes a chord with people differently. Like I saw stuff that was going on. I saw the kid. I mean, hell, I'm black, and hell, I watch TV. How can I not see what's going on? You know, and I saw everything that was going on, but it wasn't until I actually saw someone get killed who favored my husband where it struck the chord. You see what I'm saying? I knew it was happening. I was empathetic to it happening. I wanted something to change. I wanted to do something, but until it's found the way to strike the chord, and I'm like, what the hell?
You know what's crazy? I was explaining to my children about Breonna Taylor, and they were like, Breonna Tavares? Because my name is Breonna Tavares. And I was like, no, Breonna Taylor. And they were like, Mommy, that sounds like your name. And I was like, damn, that could be me.
Exactly.
Like, that could be my children. Like, I wasn't doing anything wrong or whatever the situation is. Like, they came in my house and my children had to be those children now. And, like, that really could be me. That does sound like me.
Right.
Like, wow, that was pretty crazy. But I was already involved in all the protests. I was a protest ratchet for sure. I was all about it.
I mean, like I said, I just feel, you know, circling back to Kanye, I just think that we are straddling a very fine line of I don't want to say allowing, but allowing him to get his voice heard, allowing his story to be told, and the other side of the fence would be exploiting his mental health issue. I think we're straddling a very fine line with that. And that's the part that scares me. And I do not I am not upset with Nori and the Drink Champs for pulling the episode, because I feel Nori felt that he needed to do what he needed to do because of how he felt. And if he was uncomfortable about what he put out into the atmosphere in reference to that interview, it's his right to pull it. But again, social media left and right is going to have their thoughts about what he did. But if he felt he was exploiting his mental health, he was like, nah, this ain't right. Because if I was going through this too, would I want my shit out there like that? I know I wouldn't. Can you imagine any time in your life where you were having like a mental breakdown, a crazy time, and someone put it on social media for you so they could see you break down? Everybody can see it.
I think Kanye is the person that it can happen to, because he narcissistic. He got some narcissistic traits. Like you said, he got some mental things that he got to deal with, and us as the general people, like, we can't help him with that. He got to figure it out on his own. So there's some accountability that he got to take in his public relations and getting his message across, and
his own circle.
Yeah.
But I will say, few weeks back, his circle was trying. And what did Kanye do? Exploit the hell out of that.
Yeah.
People are and you need something, you know, you blah, blah, blah. He's taking all the text messages and taking pictures and putting it on social media. To me, that is not the actions of someone who is of sound mind.
That sounds like a Gemini to me.
And he
that man is a Gemini to the T, man. Bad.
Reaching out to you, trying to check you, and you taking screenshots and put it on social media. Boy, what's wrong with you? Then you're gonna be like, oh, everybody left me in the dust. Well, the last time I tried to talk to you, you put it on social media.
Right.
So yeah, he's a narcissist. He's feeding off of this, but that's the crazy cycle of it all.
Yeah.
You a narcissist, you need the attention, you need someone to agree with you. Everybody's agreeing with you. The minute someone denies you, you got to do some other shit to try to get people to believe you.
He got it down to his science.
He does.
You know what he's doing.
And through all of this, he's still making money.
But he reading my mind, but he does it for a reason, because it's power polarity. So when you're dealing with energy in any form of currency, whether it's people's emotions, whether it's their money, whether it's their time. The power of polarity is the best way to maximize getting all of it and
Yes.
making it big as you can. Because you can go one way and be positive all the time, but you're only gonna get the positive feedback. Or you can be negative all the time, you're gonna get the negative feedback. But if you use polarity and get both aspects of it, boom, that's what you do.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you know what he's doing.
Yes. And again, the mind of a genius. We're not supposed to comprehend it.
Yeah. That's
We
it.
just know it. All we know is it's working. We just know it's
That's
working.
it. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. All right, y'all. Well, I gotta get out of here because I gotta get up hella dark 30 in the morning. But I appreciate y'all inviting me to this podcast. I appreciate talking to all of y'all. Shoot me another link when you need me to jump in. I got y'all.
All
right. Thank you so much.
Pieces, y'all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hey, Antoinette, you want to say anything before we dip out?
No.
That was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Great.
But me, the way she was saying, you really gotta, before she left, just going back to what she was talking about when when I jumped on and I said, I really don't really keep up with Kanye West. She made some good points. I really don't. But I just went off with, and I can admit I was that person who just kind of went off what everybody else was saying. Because like I said, I didn't keep up with it. I didn't even go over the interview, even though it was given to us.
Yeah.
To go over before we came on.
But they also
didn't have the time today. I just didn't have the time today, but I can understand some points, and I can understand, I can, now that she went back and and was talking and everybody was talking, I can understand some of the things. And I would be upset too if I didn't come to my, my kids' party. I can, and stuff like that. But, Kanye West to me just always been a bully, and like I said, I'm going off of social media too, because I don't really, I listen to his music. I love his music. Don't get me wrong. I love all his music, but I'm really not a huge fan and following him and knowing the things he did. I didn't watch not one documentary of his. Now I'm excited to go back. Maybe we can come back and talk about it. I'm excited to go back to watch the champs and stuff like that, because like I said, I really wasn't
them would
a
be
big
the two
fan.
things
So
to
I
watch.
watch things,
Genius
people who I like.
Oh, yeah, that Genius documentary. That
and I hear about it all the time. They say
it's amazing, and I judged Kanye.
They say it was good.
It's so good. When I watched that, it helped me understand who he is and what he's gone through and like all of it.
Because she made a good point about him losing his mom.
I think a lot of people make that point though, but like watching that documentary showed you so much more than just that. And it showed you like his greatness and like his trials, everything. It was really good. I really do recommend you watching that. I still haven't seen the whole Drink Champs interview either though, so I need to watch that. Yeah. But it's gone, right? Or
they got it up.
No, we got the link. It was sent to us today. But yeah, I'm gonna check it out and I'm gonna come back and we're gonna talk about it again.
Yeah. We'll have a part.
I'm gonna check out the documentary and I'm gonna go and check out the champs interview.
Yeah, that's about it. They get caught up on all the shit he got going on.
But this is just like really a lesson for all celebrities. Like all the time we be talking about stuff. I'm like, we don't know what really happened. We don't know whatever go on. Like we didn't do all that research. We ain't living in them people's lives. Like we don't know what's going on. So just in general, and especially like, I'm not even trying to make this a race thing, but like we know how the media really likes to tear down, people of our ethnicity or black men or whatever it is.
Successful black men get tore down when they make one mistake.
Poor Mexicans get tore down. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't know what type of color y'all got a problem with, but y'all got a problem with something. So we need to just give that more like credit in the future, consideration that this could be happening and we don't really know the whole story. So if they vilify him for the police, they'll vilify him to sell some records too, for sure.
Yeah, because they definitely do it to us. Like on, not really Facebook, but if you're not watching our full clip, and we'll give you bits and pieces and put them on social media. I mean, one little clip that we put on TikTok, I mean, everybody just went crazy. And it's like, did you watch the full podcast or you just went off that one clip?
But that's
what people do. People will go off that one clip,
that clickbait,
and be like, oh, you don't have such a big opinion, but it's like you didn't even go through the whole podcast.
Yeah.
But you have so much to say,
short attention,
and you're making all these different skits, but you haven't even watched the full thing. Then if you watch the full thing, then you can understand some of the things that we were saying. So we go through that too, you know, here on this podcast.
Yep. But it's like accountability because we posting clickbait, we want that attention. And just saying with Kanye be knowing what he doing when he wearing them hats and them shirts and shit. It's like, nigga, you're feeding into it too. So don't get upset with the heat that come with it. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's starting to handle it better. He just don't know how to articulate it yet. Like in these he just be talking and fucking going on. He not trying to hide. He don't got nothing to hide. So it is like he's just gonna say anything at that point. So it's like, you feel how you feel. I can accept the fact that you're very outspoken and you might say some crazy things. I'm not gonna believe everything you got to say, but I am gonna take the information I do believe is helpful to me.
I'm gonna just say, if you believe anything that everybody say in entirety, you're just a damn fool.
Yeah.
Period. You should be taking everything everybody say with a grain of salt and doing your own research, trial and error. Ain't nobody all right all the time.
My thing is, don't censor nobody. I don't like nobody not being able to get their word out and speak their piece. So I just hope he don't get censored.
I don't, you know.
Because I don't want nobody to get censored. Facebook censored me and blocked me.
Like,
Facebook be blocking me and censoring. They was fucking my money up. I was like, let me shut up. Talk about certain shit. Because my social media is how I get my money for
They
real.
already threatened my Instagram. Said you got one more again. You losing access to your whole account. Go ahead and post about this shot one more time. See what happens.
They on your head, boy. So I think we covered everything. Yeah. I was waiting for James to get back, but this nigga dipped off.
But I can end it if we need to, because I'm on my laptop. So.
Okay.
But thank you everybody for joining us, and I wanted to say too, make sure you guys tune in this Wednesday. We're going to be talking about some more domestic violence, and we're going to also be hearing from Courtney Franklin, who went to jail for murder. She murdered her kid's father. She did 15 years in jail, and now she's going to speak out after 17 years. So she's going to be on the show. And we're going to have 3 other ladies that's going to join us, and we're going to, continue this domestic violence. This is Domestic Violence Month. So, we're just trying to get the stories out there and trying to help somebody, so.
Yeah.
Tune in. Y'all.
Yeah. So you guys have a good night.
You too. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, and we will be back soon. See you guys on Wednesday.
All right. See ya.
All right. See ya.